Alrighty. Attempt 3. I had just finished a failed recording. Okay, now let's get into it. So, as you can see, we're starting off here. This will be the first of many times that I pull back the camera and discuss what we're gonna do today. However, as it's the first day we're doing something, I don't really think we'll have a need for me to say too much. However, as I mentioned before in the past, both literally and figuratively, I have just finished trying to record another episode. Well, world. It did not go well. I died. That was lovely. But, new world, new day. Now, let's get back onto it, shall we? We'll be popping back in now. Here's the llama. Doot. So, as you can see, during this time period, I hadn't actually gotten all that much done. Just kind of chopping down trees, trying to get some food. You know how it'd be in the first few days of Minecraft. What the fuck kind of island? Yes. As you have heard from the past me, we have actually found a lot of Tinker's Construct slime islands, which will be helpful at some point down the line when I finally get around to doing that. Definitely keeping that in mind. We gotta head north. Well, you heard the man. As going on, we're going to be trying to find some kind of home base. Now, I obviously know where we end up, but on the interim, ooh, spooky mystery, where are we gonna end up? I would also like to point out that this was juxtaposed to me failing to kill a cow. Good sir. Go team me. As you can see, I'm looking for something. I am in the need of some kind of ocean-adjacent biome. This is because a lot of the things I need can be found relatively around the ocean, such as clay or salt. That said, though, I had no clue where to find one. So that's lovely, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah. Murderize all of the slimes! Thank you. Now is a good time to mention, you can see on the top left that there is a timer. See, this is a remnant of back when it was going to be a 100 Days series, instead of just an outright edited series. I need the experience, but that's beside the point. And as such, you can see there's not really all that much going on for the rest of the day. Just us trying to find an ocean, which we did indeed do. Now, as you can probably assume, it was not that easy to find such a location. However, we did find some nice islands, as you see here. It's really cool looking. I'd probably have built my house there on any other playthrough, to be honest. But this isn't any other playthrough, so I did not. Now, while we didn't base here, I do keep a fair amount of these islands on record, just so I can come back here if I want to. That said, I'm probably not going to, because it was only during this voiceover that I remember this island existed. It's as the second island appears that I should mention something else I'm looking for. I am looking for some kind of desert biome, which will be great because we need cacti for Pam's harvest. This first island was most certainly not a desert. Oh, poopy. I do have to say that with how big this island was, I was starting to think it may not have been an island but an actual landmass. It didn't turn out to be a landmass, which is good on our part. It's just, wow, it was a really big island. The big island had its perks, however, as due to the recurrent complex mod, this was going to be our base, having an entire village on here. However, it also did not seem to have any deserts nearby. So, yeah. However, it did have a really nice looking house. A house that, to this day, I'm pretty sure I left a lot of my stuff in. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, there were crafting tables, there were furnaces, there were bookshelves, there was everything you could need as an adventurer, and it just didn't stick out to me. And you remember 1.12.2 when you couldn't sleep during the day nor even reset your spawn there? I don't know why I was worried about resetting my spawn in a version where I'm playing hardcore, but like I was trying to, and it did not work because, again, daylight. See, it's around here when I do what we shall call a pro Minecraft gamer move. You see, I know that there are at least 3 crafting tables in this house, but what do? I place a 4th. Because, obviously, that is the skilled play. Yeah, I still don't know why I did this. Then again, for that matter, I place a chest that I'm not going to be using, and it's probably the one I left all my stuff in. I mean, yeah, I could just go back for it, but why? This is confirmation I did indeed leave everything behind, because I never grabbed most of this stuff to my memory. But who needs your worldly possessions when instead you can go looking for more deserts? So that's what I set off to do, and this is the last time I return to this base. I love the memories we have, arriving, being excited, making a chest, leaving it unceremoniously. I mean, it truly is just a roller coaster of emotions we felt to that place. Oh, by the way, we found a little outpost thing here that gave us some iron and some gold, which was pretty nice. We also obtained some pumpkin pie, which, I'm gonna be real, that kind of carried us through the first couple days. Like, that pumpkin pie was the MVP. It's ironic I say that because I don't actually really like pumpkin pie all that much, in real life or in Minecraft. But hey, what works, works. I might start making more because of this. So, in the expanse of the ocean, we ended up not finding much aside from a dozen or so islands. During this time, we also found a jungle island, which we actually do come back to because it's a really nice source of wood. So that was nice. This ended up taking so long, we ended up in day 3 in the middle of the ocean. Barely any sight, and nothing to really do. Let's also just gloss over the fact that I kidnapped a cow. But we did eventually end up finding a new base, which, holy shit, that took days. And just like that, I never returned to the other base as mentioned prior. But hey, this one I actually do things with. Though that's not to say it was smooth sailing, as I'm pretty sure our first night here was a blood moon, so go team me! While I'm ruffling through these chests, it's also about now you can see that most of this building has nothing but wheat, which does come in handy later on as I make a lot of gold trees. Oh, I make them in the game too. Why, yes, I do in fact use my pumpkin pie to break my bookshelves. Thank you for asking. See, I don't know it just yet, but walking out to the left here is actually the house I use as the base of my operation. Like the core of what will be my end build. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much here at first, but the 3 furnaces, the crafting table, all of it leads me to just decide this is the base for me. It's also unfortunate, but there are a lot of villages that kind of die here. Like, I've gotta repopulate this place at a later point down the line, but yeah, a lot of death happens. I'd also like to mention just how fast I forgot about that initial cow I kidnapped. Because I don't think I ever keep them or anything, they kind of just vanished along some point with a boat. Just nothing left, just gone. See, here's the kicker, though. Like, I look in these chests beside me, and it turns out there's tons of books and papers, so, like, I don't even need the cows anymore. I just stole him and left him abandoned. Because why not? First there was ground beef, now there is flying beef! I felt that one in the depths of my lacking soul. I'm so sorry. Well, as a whole, I begin to basically just block off what I can of the village so that the zombies and stuff can't get to them as easily. I don't do a very good job at it, as we'll see here soon, but yeah. This does become the first time I use a furnace, and as such, the first time we encounter Pollution of the Realms, which is a mod that adds pollution for the realms. Whoosh! Shocking. Essentially, all my first day here is just looting. And as we'll see here, I basically just, go around collecting Pam's Harvest stuff, some cactus, get all the basics, essentially. Or would that be the essential basics? Either way, I get them. Oh, hey, look, there's the cow. I do take some time to explore more of the desert aspect of this island. I find a weird structure I'm not that sure what is, but beyond that, nothing of note. It's also around here, now that the sun has set, that we play a dangerous game in that I stayed out way too long, just kind of looking around, exploring. Nothing of note, but with how late it got, it could have easily turned bad. I, however, don't seem to realize the danger I'm in, and as such, don't put much effort into, preparing for it. As a result, when I see some husks knocking at my door, by the way, didn't realize those were in 1.12, go team, I, was unprepared. The hell? How did you get in here? Why, yes, I did lose a quarter of my health to just the husk. Lovely, isn't it? Oh, but don't worry, there's a sequel in that I almost entirely die to a zombie. And looking back in post-production, it seems there was a creeper behind me I hadn't noticed. That was almost a very swift end of the series. For the most of the night, I basically just bunker down, so let's call it here, y'all. Have a good night, have a good day, whatever you do, have a great time. Good night, everyone. Hope you enjoyed my first time editing.